It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and I think right now, after everything we've thrown at you, it's time to take a moment to pause, maybe sip and reflect, and we're going to do just that and talk to you about JACOBS Cup of Wisdom. Now, this is your daily dose of thoughtful insight wrapped in warmth and brewed with absolute intention. Yeah, as you have probably figured out, we're going to slow things down a bit, and we are pairing this morning's conversation with the perfect brew in the JACOBS Loas and India. Now, this coffee is delicately smooth, it's got a touch of natural sweetness, and I think it's lending to the calming notes of that dried fruit and refined, gentle taste. So let me do the honors first before we tuck into something mighty. And indeed, today's brew is beautiful, and a conversation that I think is going to pair perfectly with it. We're talking about introspection. Now, this is hopefully where power is in silence, and it's equal to the strength of speaking up. It's a question we're asking, and we cannot do this on our own. So joining us to explore this thought-provoking question, we have a life coach, Fasti Maritz, in the building, who's going to help us unpack when quiet confidence can speak volumes. Fasti, firstly, cheers to you this morning. How are we doing?
Oh, good, thank you, and yourself.
Beautiful. I'm warm
Wonderful.
and I'm ready for this moment because I love the conversation we're talking about. Power in silence. How do you guide someone through a moment like this when we're talking about staying silent and how staying silent might be more powerful than speaking up? Easier said than done.
It is, especially when we're feeling reactive. It's important for us to take a moment to reflect on our perspective, to make sure that we're grounded and rooted in reality, and that our perspective of the situation isn't tainted by our past or emotional triggers or our personal beliefs. When we know that we have a clear understanding of the situation, that's when we decide how we will engage. Are we going to keep quiet or are we going to speak up? If we choose to keep quiet, then we ask ourselves, what is my why? Why am I staying silent in this moment? Is it because I'm trying to reflect? Am I trying to de-escalate the situation? Or am I simply putting down a boundary without engagement?
So we almost need to kind of veer away from just responding without information or without informing ourselves of what's actually going on in the situation.
We want to ground ourselves in those moments because words matter and we want to use them selectively, and we also want to use them intentionally.
So in a moment where we might have, whether it's a conflict or a good conversation, and I'm starting to feel a little bit riled up, for lack of a better term, and I'm starting to want to express something, but I don't know yet what to say. In that moment, what should I be doing? Should I let it out, or should I maybe do something else like breathe?
That's a wonderful time to pause. I would say when you're starting to feel reactive in any way, you've been triggered, you're feeling, oh my gosh, I need to say this thing right now. Perhaps it won't always land as well when we come out of a place of reactiveness. That's the perfect place to just pause.
I like that.
Take
So that's our cue, that's our signal. When you feel that emotion,
and you feel yourself,
pause.
and we do. Our body tells us when to speak up and when to be quiet. When we are feeling reactive, when we have that moment, that's when we know.
So essentially you're saying that there's power in the silence, there's clarity in the silence.
There's a lot of that, yes.
Fasti, thank you. This is something that I think is an important conversation, something that I think we all need to be more aware of. And I think that signal that you mentioned to us now, that moment of emotion.
Our body tells us before our brain does. Your body, you'll feel it.
I love that. So maybe just take a page out of Fasti's book. And I think as we wrap up today's JACOBS Cup of Wisdom, a reminder that every journey holds meaning and every voice offers a lesson worth hearing. Cheers.
Find your wonderful. JACOBS, wunderbar.